I'd like to start off, I'm gonna tell y'all what I like to do when I go turkey hunting in the morning. What's some of the first things I do? What's some of the first calls that I use? And I've got some calls probably some of you never would use the turkey hunt to make a turkey gobble. I'll try anything to make a turkey gobble. I don't care what it is. Somebody said, I can take a car door and make him gobble. I said, yeah, but you can't pack it with you. I want something with me where I can try to make him gobble. And I'm going to demonstrate some of that. I use an owl call. Believe it or not, I'll use a crow call. Crow call is probably my all-time favorite. I use a quail call. It's a hawk call. I'm going to demonstrate that. We ain't got any quail anymore in the United States, hardly. Just a few spots here in the country we have bob white quails. I used to love to hunt quail. And I'm going to demonstrate. I had a turkey to gobble last year. I had some guy with me from Arkansas. And I would not have got that turkey to gobble if I hadn't. It was the middle of the day. And I blew that hawk call. A high pitch. Boy, he couldn't stand it. He gobbled at it. Of course, I put that hawk call on and got me a little soft call out, and boy, he was ready. When you get a turkey to answer you up in the day, like in the afternoon, and you'll usually kill that turkey if he gobbles you more than 1 or 2 times if you don't scare him. But how many people, a lot of states are not hunting in the afternoon. I'm going to tell you something, folks. You ought to get to hunt in the afternoon. You let a working man needs to hunt. He might get off at 2 or 3 o'clock and get to hunt that afternoon. Our kids getting off the school bus. I used to get off the school bus and run every step of the way to the house to get the squirrel hunt or something. He gets off at school at 3 o'clock. He still got time to go turkey hunting. And I think we ought to get to hunt in the afternoon. And I love to hunt in the afternoon. And matter of fact, it's one of my favorite times to hunt. Probably my favorite time, 10 o'clock in the morning. When that old hen done left the gobbler, she's lonesome she can be, and boy, when she answers me, I'm talking about things on them. All right, Mark, what do you want to use first? Use that owl call. Mark Prudhomme here can blow an owl call, and I ain't getting mine out when he's on the stage. Or when we hunting, I don't get mine out. All right.
Well, one thing that I'm big on, and it goes back to everything that I try to do is realism. It doesn't matter if you're blowing a crow call, blowing an owl hooter, a diaphragm call, a trumpet, a tube, anything you do, you should sound as real as you can. You want to blend into the woods. You want to be a part of the area that you hunt. Yeah, you can blow an owl hooter and it sounds somewhat like an owl and they'll gobble at it. But you got to think about what other people are doing. How many times have y'all been hunting on public land or hunting on nearby a farm and you can tell a man is over there blowing a hooter. You can tell a man in the middle of the day is, running that crow call. Try to be as real as you can because them turkeys figure that stuff out too. So another thing that I noticed with owl hooting is people just do too much. You can get a little bit more excited or do a little bit more if the owls aren't answering. I mean, if the turkeys aren't answering you. But my ultimate goal that I'm doing is I want to hear, I want to listen. So I'll just do a short hoot, and then I'll listen. I've had turkeys cut me off at one note of an owl call. I've had turkeys that would let me go through a full rendition before they would gobble. But I'm going to give him that opportunity to gobble at that first sound. And then what I'm going to do, if he won't gobble, I'm just covering a small area with an owl hooter. So what I want to do is I want to try to get those owls fired up. How many times, I know everybody in here is owl hooted and want to answer you over on the next ridge. Well, think about that. You're covering a lot of area. You can hear a turkey gobble a long way. So if you take that owl hooter and you don't get a response, keep calling and sound as much like an owl as you can. Get those owls fired up and let them do the work for you, and then you just got to sit back and listen. Because I don't know how many times I have been hunting with somebody and I'm blowing the hooter and the turkey gobbles and then everybody's like, oh, he's over there. You know, nobody can tell where it's at because you're running the hooter. So what I do is I start off with just a one note. And then I'm gonna listen. And I'm gonna give him time to gobble. If he doesn't gobble, then I'm gonna step it up a little bit. I'm not gonna just immediately go to a crow or anything else.
If I'm hunting with Mark, I don't need to be right beside him. I need to be out here where I can hear. And that's where a lot of people make mistakes. They get right close and making foot rackets and all that. Get out there where you can hear.
So then I'm gonna try to get a little bit more. I'm still talking to the turkey at this point. And I'm gonna listen. If I don't hear anything, then I'm gonna start talking to the owls, and I'm gonna try to get those owls fired up. I'm gonna let them do the work. So I start doing something that's gonna get the owls excited, and that's usually that laughing of the barred owl. Then you can sit back and listen to owls, because they're going to answer you. They're going to be landing all over you too, but covered a lot of territory after that.
What did I tell you about his calling folks? All right, the owl call. I use the owl call every time I go turkey hunting, usually early in the morning. You can use the owl call on up in the day. You know, owls holler up in the day, but I go to a crow call up in the day, you know, and I love a crow call. Most everywhere I hunt in the United States is crows. But I'm gonna tell you something, I was in Kansas this fall, and I thought I had crows in Tennessee, Kentucky, some of these states I hunt. But when I tell y'all, I saw 200,000 crows one evening. Not 100,000, 200,000. I said, my gosh, what is these crows? They flew by me like blackbirds for 2.5 hours. And I asked them, farmers, said, yeah, I said, they'll get in one big field, they feed is what they're doing. But they flew by for 2 solid hours, 2.5 hours. I mean, there's over 200,000 crows. When you got that many crows, you know, turkeys know what a crow is. But a crow call is my favorite call, probably, to make a turkey gobble. And a lot of people, I think, blow a crow call a little too timid. I like to blow a crow call that, you know, don't get out there and expect a turkey's going to answer you like that. Put some feeling into it. I mean, feel like you're a crow. You know, put that feeling into it, and he'll answer that. And he'll answer it most all during the day. You know, another call I use a lot. You know, a lot of you here, and I'm not trying to say anything. I wish I had some of them to sell. I don't have any of them. But this is a quail call I made over 40 years ago. We sold those calls. They were very hard to make. But I kept some of them, and I used one this year, I used one last year, and I'll use one this coming season. And it's a quail call. Most of you, a lot of people raised up now never hearing a quail, bobwhite or one whistle. You know, a hen will go. The bobwhite. But this is not what I use it for. I use it as a hawk call. That high-pitched shrill sound that you don't even hear, sort of like a dog whistle or something. That turkey hears it, and he will turn loose and gobble. And it's and I use that, but I'll give you some good advice. Don't inhale till you blow out to get the seeds out of it. Because I have talked for an hour after coming. So, but anyway, that's 2 of the calls that I use. I use owl calls, like Mark used, and I use these 2 calls. But another, if I'm hunting around, you know, a lot of places I hunt, it might be a bottom where there's Canadian geese. Canadian geese in the spring of the year are mating. You know, they got that double cluck, and I take a little tube call like this, and a goose call with it to make a turkey answer. Like, and he'll answer that call. to you, goose gobble. See?